Okay. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Or whatever day you watch this. How are you doing? Let us know if you're here live. If you show up live, let us know if you're watching the replay. Today, we're going to talk about gut health. So we're going to just kind of go over some basics, and Mary's going to talk about some things that can improve your gut health. And that's what we're going to talk about. My name's Amy Parson. I'm a holistic health coach, and I love helping people to improve their overall health. And I love starting with gut health because that is super crucial for every person. Want to introduce yourself, Mary?
Hi, I'm Mary Beasley with Your Family Herbalist. So I am an herbalist and an aromatherapist, and I love helping families just stay healthy and find health in their lives. That's simple.
Okay, we're going to jump into it. We may be having a slight sound delay on you, Mary. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Okay, so I looked up some statistics really fast this morning, and these are actually really old statistics. I should have spent a little more time and found a little more. Well, some of them are more current than others, but so some of these are like 10 years old. So sorry, I will look up better ones next time. But that means, and really, like, gut health is on a decline. So I would think that the numbers would be worse now, but I don't actually know that for sure. So people with chronic constipation, 63 million people. This is in the United States. So 63 million people. People who have inflammatory bowel disease, which is what I had, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, things like that, 1.9 million people. People with irritable bowel syndrome, I think that's pretty common, 15.3 million people. And then, so this one's a little more current. So on the CDC's website, there's a few statistics, and one of them is like physicians' office visits that end up with a digestive system as their main diagnosis is 37.2 million people. So I just wanted to throw those out. Like, it's definitely a problem. I've experienced it myself, which is why I'm so passionate about it, about bad gut health and improving our gut health. And so I just feel really strongly that every single person, whether you have symptoms or not, needs to have improvement in their gut health. So I just wanted to go over a few like super basic things, right? So in our gut, we have good bacteria and bad bacteria. You're going to hear, microbiome, like that word over and over again, the gut microbiome. So it's kind of like a big word, but it just means that balance of good and bad bacteria. And it's kind of like a garden, right? When the weeds come in, and if you let the weeds just grow and grow and grow, then they're going to kind of overtake any plants that you have. So same idea with good bacteria and bad bacteria. If you're not doing anything to improve your gut health, to improve the good bacteria, potentially even get rid of bad bacteria, to feed the good bacteria, then you're going to get an overgrowth and an imbalance, and then that's going to cause inflammation, not inflation. Inflammation. So we just want to find that balance. And it is thought that there is some research out there that shows that if you have an imbalance, you're more likely to get Crohn's, those inflammatory bowel disease. So obviously I did not have a healthy gut, did not have a good balance. So Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and also irritable bowel syndrome. Also, there's lots of research being done and has been done about the gut-brain connection. And I think that's super key, that it can play into your emotions. It can play into, it's even thought to, have an effect on autism and anxiety and depression and even chronic pain. Also, I'm getting all of this information from some websites, and I'm going to cite those in the comments just so you know that I'm not like making stuff up. Also, there's some research that thinks that it's probably going to affect your weight gain because there's a connection between feeling full and your gut bacteria and things like that. And then we've all heard about probiotics. So I just want to spend just a second talking about probiotics. But probiotics are those good bacteria, right? So if you have an imbalance and the bad bacteria is taking over, you're not going to have enough good bacteria, or the bad bacteria is just going to kill it off. Or if you introduce other things that are bad for bacteria, they feed the bad bacteria. Sugar feeds the bad bacteria. Antibiotics will just wipe out everything and potentially leaves it open for the bad bacteria to move in, things like that. So probiotics are very key. We find them in yogurt. We find them in fermented vegetables. But you can also take lots of different supplements. And I have ones that I really highly recommend. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm not really going to talk products today, but we also have this, well, I'm going to save that for another day, but we have an amazing product that's the only one that I've ever heard of that actually gets rid of bad bacteria. And so on another live, I'm going to go a little more in depth into that, but I didn't want to do that today. So I feel super passionate that every single person, like I said, whether you have symptoms or not, you probably have an imbalance because of our diets. Unless you were like the healthiest eater on the planet, it's almost guaranteed that you have an imbalance. So I have specific programs that I know about that are fantastic for changing your gut balance in 20 days. But I also know of specific things that can help. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. And let's just improve our gut health together. All right, I'm going to turn the time over to Mary.
I don't want to talk too long because a lot of what I have to say kind of balances or mirrors what Amy just said. It goes along those same kinds of things. Diet is everything. And, constipation, what is constipation? Are you having regular bowel movements? Dr. Christopher is the herbalist who established the school that I'm studying under. And he talked at length about constipation. And he'd ask every person that came to him, how are you regular? Are you having regular bowel movements? And without a doubt, people would say yes. And then he'd ask more questions. And he had one woman who said, yes, I'm regular. Once a week, she was having a bowel movement. That is not what regular. And according to herbalists, if you talk to herbalists, they will tell you, if you eat food, you need to be having a bowel movement. Every time you eat should end up being a bowel movement. So really 3 times a day, if you have a good digestive system, good gut health. And it makes sense. If you're putting something in, there should be waste coming out. Like it does make sense. So there are tons of things out there that can help with it. But really it does go back to diet. He also talks a lot about what are flour and sugar and water good for. Those 3 things, he's like, they're the best for paste, to put up wallpaper. That was his era. You putting up wallpaper. And so when you're eating foods with sugar and flour in it, that's what it's doing to your bowels. It's putting a paste there, and then it's adhering that waste into your bowels and it becomes impacted, and then you're not absorbing all the nutrients you need. So if you have questions and want more information on how to cleanse your whole digestive system, we have, like Amy said, there's tons. She has one product she wants to talk about. I have tons as well that we could share. And there's so many different things that you can do. I try to do a juice cleanse a couple of times a year. It's a 3-day juice cleanse that I follow. And then I usually will do an herbal extended cleanse where there's four different formulas. One that gets the bowels, the lower bowel, working properly. And you start on that first. And then you're adding the liver and gallbladder formula and the kidney formula. And after you've been on those for several weeks, then you go to the bloodstream formula. Because you don't want to start with the bloodstream, because that's flushing your whole circulatory system, your blood, and filtering it out and dumping it in to those other organs. And if you're not moving regularly, you're just going to cause more and more problems. And if you don't have good gut health, you're not going to have a great immune system. And I think that's super important in today's world. We need good immune systems to battle what's out there, as there's lots that we know about. So please put comments under this post, under this live, and Amy and I would love to just help you find better gut health.
Awesome. Okay, that's all we have. Hope everybody's having a great day. Remember that health empowers. And we hope you have a gut health empowered day.
Bye.